So I do have a question, and this is for the gentleman. And this is because I'm not too familiar with how alimony works. So is alimony given for only a specific amount of time, or is it kind of like indefinite? Because I don't really know. Like when you guys get put on alimony, how long does that even last?
Until
It
you get
depends on
married.
the state. It varies from state to state. In some states like California, it's indefinitely. There's some situations where you'll have to pay in some situations in states you'll have to pay alimony until she remarries, and in those cases those women never remarry. Like 99.9% of them never remarry, because like what's the point? I,
So you
I
hear that, chat? Get a prenup.
so even with the prenup, I look, I think we are in a cultural mind where um people don't think that they need prenups. And I think prenups should be a conversation because it benefits both parties, right? It's to protect her, it's to protect him as well. And there's always the argument, well, we started off together, we didn't have anything, and we built something, and along the way we had built a family and we separated. I understand that. But depending on how that relationship is structured, and depending on how everything is structured in that relationship or marriage, for this example, right, it might not go in the favor of the man. This is my feeling in towards alimony. Alimony is an antiquated tool used in modern times to punish men, and I'm gonna explain why. Once upon a time, I understand women didn't have all the kind of rights that men did. Sadly so. Once upon a time, women didn't have access to credit cards, bank accounts, and stuff like that. Sadly so. However, today, women have more access to anything than ever before. They're traveling more, they have passports, they have bank accounts, they have credit cards, they have, access to higher education. There's a ton of programs out there. I would say that women are moving on the up and up, much doing a lot better than some men in some areas. So this idea of alimony, if we're two people who are well rounded and well educated, and our marriage goes sour and we split ways, why would I pay you alimony when you are an able working body with two hands, 2 feet, and a working mind, and an education from a prestigious university that you can find employment for yourself, or if not, start your own business by yourself. You are not a dummy. You are not uneducated. You are poorly uh, innate to do bad behavior through social vehicles, right? Like these people who leave these relationships, you didn't just forget your education. You know what I'm saying? You still have those in your back pocket, regardless of the marriage dynamic, whether you are a stay at home wife, and even that, I don't even believe that much. I think there's always something to be doing in a family dynamic. You're going to be running a business from home, right? You're going to be updating books. You're going to be doing something in some capacity to contribute. So I don't believe that there is no work allowed, right? So if you leave and we have stuff structured, you could leave with a house and one of the businesses, but there isn't this, you're going to pay alimony and I take half of everything. I think that's ridiculous. I think that's more of a punishment than anything.
Luis, I think you're confusing alimony with spousal support. Alimony is not, it's not, that's not the reason for alimony. Alimony is rarely rewarded, it's pretty rare, and it's only because of lifestyle change. So if you take a person into a different lifestyle or a different class and you take them significantly different from where they were before, that's when a person is rewarded alimony. And if you took that person from a different class level and then that person was dependent on you in the form of a housewife or bearing children or what have you, that is when in those specific circumstances alimony is rewarded. It's not it's not the same thing as a spousal support, which is something that can be ordered for a certain amount of time. It's just to make ends meet. It's not a make ends meet thing. Alimony is like it's like the golden rabbit in the sky. Like nobody really gets it.
It's like unemployment for divorcees.
No, if
Let's
it's a
see.
class thing. It's like if you take somebody from a different lifestyle, it's a lifestyle change, and that's what alimony is about. And this is why that guy was rewarded alimony from that woman, is because whatever money she had was probably significantly more than whatever he was earning, and he lived in a lifestyle with her. For this reason, he was rewarded alimony. It's very rare.
All right, so I just looked it up. It says alimony, also called spousal support, is a court-ordered payment that one spouse makes to the other after divorce or separation. It is intended to help the lower-earning or non-earning spouse maintain a similar standard of living they had during the marriage.
Yeah, so that's similar to unemployment. You lose a job, you get paid for it until you get another job. But it's like the divorce part of it. But either way, I just feel like if they do have that, it should be like stopped at like a certain amount of time. Like they sit there and say, "Oh, you're gonna get paid off of this person until they remarry." The hell? What would cause the other person to want to get remarried? Then they're gonna be eaten for however long they want to eat. So it's like I get why it's there, and it makes sense, but there has to be a certain cap on how long that's gonna be, because ain't no way man or woman should be paying a whole grown adult technically what sounds like child support to me for the rest of their life until they get remarried. Like after a few months, it's like, baby, what were you doing through that whole time? Why do you still need this? Like you don't have any goals or any ambitions, or you want to live off of this for the rest of your life? That's crazy.
Well, this is what it says. It says how long alimony can be temporary, short term after separation, or permanent until remarriage, a set time period, or another court decision. The factors the courts consider: length of marriage, income difference between spouses, standard of living during marriage, contributions to marriage, like stay-at-home parenting, age and health of both spouses. Like some people believe alimony is necessary for fairness, while others think it is outdated and unfair, especially in cases where both parents are capable of working.
Another thing I needed to clarify, because I work in the courts daily, every day is my life. This is what I see every day. Like it's not rewarded. It's not rewarded as much as just regular spousal support is. I know in the definition it said it's often called spousal support. It can be called that, but it's not the same. It's not the same thing.
I think that it's if that's what she has to pay. Like, I mean, y'all already know I was put on child support before, so if that's what she has to pay, I mean, it is what it is. She was paying for his lifestyle when they were together. I feel like if they're gonna play that game, it should go on both sides. It shouldn't matter if you're a man or a woman. The law should apply to both parties equally. So I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what the uproar would be about that, because it happens. And I also agree with Amira. Alimony is not often rewarded. Like you don't hear people say, "I got alimony." Man, that the rich and famous, you know what I mean? Like, but like everyday people don't normally get alimony. I come from a state where they don't even award it. So but I don't know people that just like in general. It's in I don't know if y'all want to Google the stats, but they don't award alimony often. You may get spousal support for like 6 months or 9 months. They'll agree to pay your bills, which is like a form of spousal support. But for the second question, are men fight or should women fight for equal rights, or do you think we should? I think that that's a loaded question, because I feel like the men were the people in office who created these said laws that are unfair for them. Because when these laws were enacted, there were no women that were sitting on panels with these laws. And I think that it's important that men actually get out there and fight for themselves. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like we're gonna always, especially Black women, we're gonna always stand behind our men. So like whatever y'all on, I feel like that's what we're on for the most part. So if y'all out there and this is something that y'all really want to do, then do it. I hear men all the time that are like, "Oh, I don't, I want to see my child." Take her to court. Like, I feel like it's a lot of things that men just don't do. And yeah, I see Truth shaking his head. You might be the one that'll actually get up and do, because there are men that do. But the majority of men walking around here, they don't even like the police. So they're not going to court. They would literally be like, well, I'll wait till my child, can make that decision. You know what I'm like? That's the way that it goes. And I think that men shouldn't be afraid to advocate for themselves and, to be present and to say, I say men should always want 50-50 custody. 50-50, just split it down the middle. If you want to avoid all that child support, 50-50 custody. But as far as like alimony, it's not really rewarded. And if it is, it's normally spousal support that's based on your income. I also agree that the laws need to be revamped. We all know that it's so many laws that need to be rewritten, amended, just revamped, because they're, contrary to popular belief, there are women that do not work and haven't worked for 15, 20 years. There are women who have these lifestyles that they've had and they don't know where to begin when they leave a marriage. So I think that it has to be amended for certain things that happen.